Sharing is caring. Once in a bustling town, there lived a man named Ratan, infamous among the people as the most miserly soul anyone had ever seen. His granaries overflowed with rice, his cupboards bulged with food, and his house was stacked with goods he never used. But he never shared even a grain of rice with the hungry, nor offered a drop of water to the thirsty. If a beggar came near his door, he would slam it shut. If children asked for fruits that fell from his trees, he would chase them away with harsh words. He lived for himself, and himself alone. One hot afternoon, when the air was dry and not a single leaf moved, a saint clad in tattered saffron robes walked to Ratan's doorstep. The saint's face was gaunt with hunger, and his lips trembled with thirst. Bowing humbly, he said, "Son, I have wandered far. Please grant me just a handful of rice to survive this day." But Ratan, with eyes as cold as stone, laughed mockingly. "Rice? From me? Go beg elsewhere. I earned all this with my sweat and blood. I will not waste even a single grain on useless wanderers like you." The saint's eyes saddened, yet his voice remained calm. "Remember, wealth that is hoarded without compassion will one day vanish like sand slipping through fingers." Ratan turned his back and slammed the door. He feasted that evening, never sparing another thought for the starving saint. Time, however, is the greatest teacher. Months passed, and Ratan's flourishing business was struck by calamity. A storm destroyed his warehouses, and debts swallowed his riches. Trusted partners betrayed him. Servants abandoned him, and the very people he had scorned now rejoiced at his downfall. Within a year, the once wealthy miser had nothing: no food, no shelter, no friend to lean on. Hungry, weak, and in rags, Ratan wandered the very streets where once he had strutted with pride. He stretched his hands towards people he had known, but they turned away. "Why should we help you?" they scoffed. "When we were starving, you closed your doors on us." Days passed. Ratan had not eaten. His lips cracked, his eyes sank, and despair crushed his spirit. One evening, while dragging his weary body along a dusty path outside the town, Ratan stopped short. In the distance, under the shade of a great banyan tree, he saw a familiar figure. The same saint he had insulted long ago was sitting surrounded by beggars, distributing food with a radiant smile. The poor pressed forward eagerly, and the saint's hands never stopped moving, pouring rice into their bowls with love. Ratan's heart pounded. "If I go near him, he will surely drive me away, just as I once drove him away. Why would he feed the man who mocked his hunger?" But hunger gnawed at his insides, stronger than his pride. Trembling, he walked closer, each step feeling heavier than the last. When he finally stood before the saint, tears filled his eyes. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Holy One, I am starving. I have nothing left. Would you give me just a morsel of food?" To Ratan's astonishment, the saint's face lit up with kindness. Without a word of reproach, he filled a plate with warm food and placed it in Ratan's hands. His voice was gentle. "Eat, son. Hunger knows no past deeds. Compassion holds no grudges." Ratan broke down completely. He fell to the ground, clutching the saint's feet, his body shaking with sobs. "I am ashamed, master. I turned you away when you were starving, yet you have fed me without a single harsh word. Forgive me, for I have lived selfishly all my life. From today, I will change. I will share whatever I have with those in need." The saint raised him tenderly and said, "Remember, Ratan, wealth is not measured by what we hoard, but by what we give. The hand that gives is the hand that truly prospers." From that day onward, Ratan became a changed man. Even with little, he shared freely. He worked hard, regained his livelihood, but never returned to his old ways. His house, once cold and silent, became a place of warmth and generosity. People who had once despised him now respected him, for he had learned the true meaning of life. Moral: wealth without compassion is poverty in disguise. True richness lies in sharing, for in giving, we not only feed others, but also nourish our own souls.